boy, ladies and gentlemen, it has been one hell of a long year to be a WWE fan, to be a wrestling fan in general, but we've been dealing with a lot of bullshit from these people for a long time, and I gotta tell you, this feels very much like the last straw. WWE just today released the likes of Frankie Monet, Ember Moon, Scarlett Bordeaux, and Karrion Kross, which fuck Karrion Kross, but you get the idea. Hit Rose, B-Fab, Jesse Kamea, Zeta Ramir, Trey Baxter, Katrina Cortez, both of the remaining members of Lucha House Party, Lince Dorado and Grand Metalik, Jeet Rama, who we literally just saw on NXT. Nia Jax is gone, which, addition by subtraction, fuck her, but still another big name released. But the big straw that broke the camel's back, Keith Lee and Mia Yim released. I don't think we would have done anything close to a commentary had the WWE kept the two of them on their payroll. But, John, I think you agree with me. This breaks a back to me.
Yeah, I mean, brother, we were talking about it on Facebook, and I was the one that said to you, because we've been talking for a while about wanting to take that break from WWE because we felt a disconnect from the product. And then I'm just going to read the messages verbatim because that just captures my emotions perfectly. I said, we keep talking about that break from WWE. I want to take it, dude. I'm fucking done. What the fuck was or is the point in rooting for people WWE sees as expendable? And I just said, this is such a slap in the fucking face. Like, this broke me, guys. I've tolerated a lot, as have you, for years, even before TWitWoW was a thing, because I'm sure we had our frustrations. You always talk about when Cena beat Edge in '06 at Unforgiven in his hometown of Toronto, how that was like a break that you took. So for years before TWitWoW was even the thing, we've been through a lot. This is it, though. I'm not happy watching this. I don't enjoy wrestling watching this. Fuck WWE. And I'm just going to hand it back to you for the time being so that you can tell our lovely audience the changes that are coming for us here.
Yeah. So we literally just had a Q&A question this past Thursday that asked us what would be the breaking point to make us stop watching the WWE completely. And while this is damn close to enough to get us to do that, it's not quite severed the cord completely because while we are cutting off all viewership of main roster WWE programming, we will still be reacting or reviewing rather NXT 2.0. That's not changing. But no more SmackDown reviews. And the only pay per views that we will be doing preview predictions and live reactions to going forward are Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, Money in the Bank, and SummerSlam. And that is it. No Survivor Series. That's it. None of that. We're not doing it this month. We're not. Every single year we get to Survivor Series. We bitch about how meaningless all the matches are and how it's a shitty show. We're not going to put ourselves through that anymore. Big Four, my ass. The new Big Four is the four that we're talking about. It's Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, Money in the Bank, and SummerSlam. That's it. That is going to be the extent of TwitWoW's main roster WWE coverage going forward. We will no longer be covering other pay-per-views. We will no longer be reviewing SmackDown. They fucking released B-Fab from Hit Row, and while I will still probably be watching SmackDown for Hit Row, I have no interest in giving the WWE, at least the main roster, our coverage. We did discuss NXT, and we decided basically that because they are rebooting NXT, that we are going to be continuing to cover that because it's like this is their new vision of what they want to do going forward. So we can probably allow ourselves to get emotionally connected to those performers because there's a chance, or there's a much lower chance of them getting released. But this is our breaking point. We're done with pretty much all of WWE, with literally only four exceptions a year, and of course their developmental shit. Um, God, John, did you want to go into any kind of depth as far as like why this specific group of releases was our breaking point?
I will never speak for you, partner, so I think I'll do what I usually do. I'll be on my bullshit, and then I'll hand you the baton, and then you can say what you want to say, except far more rationally than me.
Yeah.
These releases to me, characterize that WWE has a fundamental misunderstanding of what pro wrestling fucking is. Because I will even say, and I said this to Ashton, so anything I say privately, I should be bold enough to say publicly, even Karrion Kross. who is a certified piece of shit, and who I will not be shedding a single tear over, they had the template for him in NXT. Ashton and I didn't care for it, but I can tell you the really casual fan probably ate it the fuck up. And it was a good act, aesthetically speaking, right? And they had to tinker with that and like more or less make him a poor man's like Dollar Tree version of fucking Shredder from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
So even Cross, who again, piece of shit, don't fucking care, shows a fundamental misunderstanding of what pro wrestling fucking is. And just speaking for myself again, Ashton can say his piece afterwards. For me, I just have not been happy. I have not enjoyed WWE for a long time.
Yeah.
I
mean, we've literally, I think the thing that sparked Craig asking the question about us stopping watching WWE content completely, like what would be the catalyst for that, was that we were really, really upset with the way that they built up that Saudi Arabia show. It's like they are in a position where it benefits them, and they have, gone on and done so to make the Saudi Arabia shows the biggest shows of the year because they're paying them the most money. Like they make more money from one Saudi Arabia show than they make from WrestleMania. I think that we've already seen a graphic that says something along the lines of like the last 6 Saudi Arabia shows before the one that they just did, which I think was probably the biggest one ever, made them more money than every WrestleMania up to and including WrestleMania 34 or 35, I think it was, combined. So, 6 Saudi Arabia shows more profitable than like 34, 35 WrestleManias. So, yeah, it would obviously financially benefit them to put more effort into those shows, but it's fucking disgusting because they're literally propagandists for a corrupt government and fuck everything about that. We have no interest in supporting that. We have no interest in covering that. And we haven't been covering those shows. But now it's like WWE really, really wants people to tune into those shows because they're actually putting effort into making cards that genuinely look good. And meanwhile, everything else is suffering. Every other aspect of their shows, the creative, the build on TV, the way that they cut to commercial during matches that we enjoy, that we want to watch, like everything else on their shows has been suffering. Their pay-per-views have been mediocre this year for the most part. WrestleManias haven't been the same, and especially post WrestleMania Raws have been absolute garbage for the last like 4 or 5 years. I can't even remember the last good one. It just feels like WWE right now is laser focused on putting on the best product in Saudi Arabia, and then give about a hundredth of the effort that they give to Saudi Arabia to literally the entire rest of their programming schedule.
And brother, just to kind of take the baton back and continue my sentiments, I understand that there's no ethical consumption under capitalism.
Yeah.
But I think we get to choose what manifestations of capitalism we do support. And obviously I'd like to abstain from all of it, but again, it's literally a totalizing system. But I am just about actually to literally log into my Peacock account and unsubscribe there. And then
good point.
I'll re-up.
Actually, no, I actually like Peacock because they have some other stuff that I'll keep and it's cheap. But yeah, you do that.
Yeah, you know what? They have stuff that I like too, man, but I don't even know if I use it enough to justify keeping the subscription. I'll just re-up in fucking January for the big 4. I don't fucking care. And what was it that I wanted to say? Fuck. There was a point I wanted to make, like, about... But, with WWE, again, like Ashton just said, everything perfectly about, Saudi shows and this and that. I'm sorry, it's just, to me, it's been listless. I don't enjoy it. I try and get the reviews on my end. I've tried to be even more succinct because I know I'm quite verbose up in here. Because I'm like, our time is fucking valuable. And WWE, I mean, Keith Lee just enrages me beyond belief.
This man almost died for you motherfuckers, and now you release him because he's a budget cut.
And Keith isn't going to say anything like that about it. He's going to be the consummate pro. He's going to be like, I appreciated my time. But see, that's why we're here. Because we'll say what I know he won't say because he's mature and a professional and he wants to keep life going as he should. Fuck you. Fuck you for releasing this man. Fuck you for not, using him as he should be fucking used, for tinkering with him, thinking, should he be a heel? Should he do this and that? Mia Yim never got a fucking chance, at all. And she's one of the better in-ring workers that company had. And God knows the women's division can't get enough of them.
And that's the other thing, too. I wanted to even talk about that because we kind of discussed this briefly. A lot of these releases, it feels like WWE is taking off the mask. And they're being like, we don't give a fuck about women's wrestling. and especially black women, and fuck you for ever asking us to pretend like we did. That's what this set of
Ex-
releases reminds me. Like that's what it makes it feel like to me.
exactly. And you know what, bro? You know what? I remembered what I wanted to say. I'm happy we're doing this because you know what? For so long, it's just been the rants, and we do it in the space of the commentary, and then it's like life goes on. You know what? I'm tired of them just
Yeah,
getting my anger and
I'm
nothing
so
else.
fucking tired of some things on SmackDown. Like I'm sick and fucking tired of the Naomi bullshit. We're talking about black women. Naomi is literally fighting for her fucking life to get a match in storyline, and then they go and release Ember Moon, Zeta Ramir, BFAB out of storyline, and it's like y'all realize how much you're telling on yourselves right now? For fuck's sakes.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And I'm sick and tired of also contributing to the problem in the sense of, oh, let me rant about it, but then continue to enable them with my
Yeah,
viewership,
yeah,
acting like things are okay. I'm done with that. You know, it's really time that we and other wrestling fans that feel like we do really put our foot down this time and be like, you know what? No, I know I always say that I'm pissed and I'm done, but now you're going to see what that actually fucking looks like.
yep,
And to be perfectly honest, I'm ecstatic about the freed up time that we now have
yeah.
because I don't know, maybe we could do more game time on the fucking
Code
Discord.
names
Maybe
Fridays.
code names Fridays. Maybe we'll substitute it with other content. Ashton and I talk all the time about the future and the trajectory of the channel, and
Yep.
I guarantee you, whatever that future takes, it's going to be a lot happier and a lot more fun than this fucking bullshit.
Can I also
Like,
say, by the way, because I wanted to
yeah,
mention this,
yeah,
the canary in the coal mine was Ruby.
yeah, yeah,
When they
definitely.
when they released Ruby Riot, and they just were like, whatever. It's like that was like that they're telling on themselves, and that was like the first sign too, because that was like she went through hell for them. She got the shoulder surgery for them. They did nothing with her afterwards. That right there sounds an awful lot like the Keith Lee story. But also, she's incredibly talented. She's great in the ring. She can talk. She's charismatic. She's got a great look. Boy, that sounds an awful lot like Ember Moon, doesn't it? And too bad all three of them are now gone.
Yeah, Mark, schedule changes are we're still covering NXT 2.0, but we're no longer covering main roster programming. You know, we've never covered Raw in the first place, but now we're dropping SmackDown, and we're only covering
And
Big
I
Four
also
pay-per-views
want to
and Epic.
add, because for the
Yes.
longest time we have been covering post Big Four pay per view Raws and SmackDowns. That shit ain't happening anymore. We're done with that too.
No, that was fucking listless as shit, dude. I can't tell
For
you
the
the Raw
longest time, it
library.
was worthwhile, and then like
Yeah,
2018ish, 2017 maybe rolled around, and it stopped being worthwhile.
yeah, yeah. Like I am so done. Like especially, and I want to say too on the more positive side, you and I'm speaking generally about the wrestling industry. You can't spoil me with fucking things like Stardom and shit like that, and then expect me to just have the same standards for WWE and have the same level of tolerance. That shit ain't gonna fucking fly. Like I know what good content, what happiness feels like in terms of being a wrestling fan. And I'm more committed than ever than going to that happiness. I tell Ashton all the time, our time matters. Your guys' time matters. You think I want to come up here and have you guys listen to just some guy complain? I want us to share in the excitement and love of wrestling together. That's the fucking point. Like, I hate this idea that anger and ranting and this and that sells. Bullshit. Bullshit. Love, fun, happiness. That shit should sell. Always. And I don't want to have to keep coming up here and doing this shit and talking about how corrupt WWE is, because we all know it. I'm ready to do something about it, and I'm so glad we're doing this. I just switched to Peacock free. So yeah, fuck WWE Network, fuck WWE, fuck them for firing their Keith Lee, Mia Yim, you know, they're black talents, they're just non-white talents generally, and then you want to pat yourselves on the back and jerk yourselves off for your diversity initiatives and your SB wins and this and that when you don't give a fuck about it, because even the talent you're keeping, what the fuck are they doing with Bianca Belair? Like, if she's not the one to beat Becky, it's all fucking pointless, and I'm really starting to believe that she's not going to be the one to do it. And just everything else, like, you don't know what to do with the roster you do have, and the people you do cut never had a chance in fucking hell. So I'm fucking over it. This really broke me today. I didn't expect it to break me this hard, but when Ashton told me, because it was Ashton that told me, Keith Lee and Mia Yim released, I could just feel my heart crack inside, and I'm like, that was it. And BFAB was already pushing it close to the edge. How dare you break up Hit Row when they were so wonderful together, and the concept as an act was fucking brilliant, and you already took away a piece before they even got off the fucking ground. But then Ashton's like, oh, Keith Lee and Mia Yim are gone, and I'm like, No. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
No, I'm
Yeah.
fucking done. I hope KO leaves when his contract's up, honestly. I really hope he
Yeah.
fucking gets
Him
out of
and
there
Sammy
and he
both.
maximizes. Yeah. Yeah, like him and Sammy both, because you know what? You don't deserve them either. You don't deserve amazing fucking human beings that actually love what they do and know how to value their time and just all this other stuff. And you know, somebody else pointed out, now I'm not looking for anybody to get fired, but it's really fucking funny to me that a guy like Jackson Riker, who's like openly MAGA and stuff, always seems to avoid these cuts every single fucking
Yeah.
time. I think that says
Well,
everything you
because
need to
his
know about the
values
company
line up
culture.
with management's.
Exactly. Exactly.
And I
Um,
think it's also worth noting, and DBK posted a tweet that pointed this out in the Discord. WWE announced a 15% increase in quarterly revenue 2 hours ago. And now
yeah.
this.
Oh, but budget cuts
Budget
though.
cuts.
Budget cuts though.
Budget cuts. They have 15% more budget to work with, but oh, we need to let go of some of our best, most promising performers for budget cuts. That's go fuck yourselves, WWE. Nick Khan,
Yeah,
Vince McMahon,
yeah.
that Kevin Dunn, fucking Doc Hendricks, go fuck yourselves, all of you.
Yeah, because you know what? Again, guys, we recently fucking paid for like fucking Stardom pay per view. I cannot tell you how good that felt to support wrestling that actually rewards me back. I hadn't felt that good as a wrestling fan in honestly years, at least since Lucha Underground. And you know what? Just fuck them. I'm so done. I'm broken. I'm tired. I'm annoyed. This isn't how being a wrestling fan should feel. And
No.
anybody that's internalized it, that's not your fault. But I'm the one stressing to you that you shouldn't feel that way. That's not normal. Okay, that's not normal. You should have fun with wrestling. You should enjoy it. You should be anticipating it. I'm already anticipating. And I can't wait for it to be up on Stardom World, the fucking November 3rd show. What was it, Super Wars or Secret Wars?
Kawasaki Super Wars.
Osaki support. Thank you. I can't wait for that to be up. And thankfully, I've avoided spoilers so far.
Nice.
But like, that's what I think about. I think, man, I can't wait to cover that show. Man, I can't wait for Tag League to continue. Man, I can't wait for so-and-so to be back, or maybe for this person to be signed, or whatever. That's what it's supposed to be, not, oh, let's, fucking invest in these people only for them to get released, or, whatever. It's so fucking exhausting. I am so exhausted. And Ashton's exhausted, and I'm so fucking happy we're doing this. Because, like, yeah, I was really ready to put my foot down, and I'm so grateful Ashton was right alongside me, feeling the same way, because this is enough.
This
is enough.
This is some bullshit. Like, whenever the round of cuts was where like Samoa Joe, and I think that might have even been the same one that Ruby got released in, I think that was the first moment that I was just like, wow, this company really doesn't give a fuck about anyone that works for them. I kind of had like an emotional disconnect from WWE a little bit at that point, and now this is like very very close to the sort of remainder of what was left being severed.
Yeah, absolutely. To the people that got released, especially those who I knew were dearest to us as fans, Keith, Mia, BFAB, all of them.
Zeta,
I am so fucking
Ember,
sorry. Zeta,
Frankie.
Zeta, who never got a fucking chance. Zeta Ramirez, who I'm not going to act like I was the biggest Zeta stan, but like Ashton showed me some of her stuff. We saw the win against, who was it? Fucking Dakota,
Tony.
I think it was. It was Tony, that's right, Tony Storm. And like, she could have been something. And you know what? I said this.
I'm a little bit surprised Tony wasn't part of the cuts because she hasn't been doing shit lately either.
Yeah, I mean, dude, give it time because I don't even know if they're done yet. I really don't know what the fuck is happening.
Yeah,
but
that's true.
I don't know who I said this about specifically. I don't know if it was might have been Cora Jade, honestly, on our most recent review. But I said you're never gonna have another Bayley again, so long as you don't do this long form storytelling and appreciate that the art of wrestling is telling character stories literally from beginning to their end. And Zeta could have been another one. Zeta could have been another one that if you had taken that route, had her go on that quote unquote hero's journey, you could have had a really great star on your hands. But for whatever reason, it's like, oh no, fuck you. And if they're firing Triple H guys, as Luna Corva, aka Shay, noted, I wonder if Casey and Caden are going to be soon up. And I wonder if they're just cleaning them all out and they're getting rid of everybody from that.
There's also a part of me that wonders with the release of Frankie if Jomo's contract is going to be coming up anytime soon and he's going to want out as well.
Bro, you know what? I know he considered his WWE run to be his final run, but I hope he still has enough left in him. Just one New Japan run. I would legitimately resubscribe if I knew he was like in a G1 or what the fuck ever. Like, No, and that's why I'm hoping Kevin leaves, because you know what? I don't fuck with AEW. You guys know that. But if I knew he was happy and he was in a company that seemingly has a higher morale right now and seemingly a healthier culture, I mean, I'm always a bit touch and go about that. It is pro wrestling after all. Good, because at least, like Ashton said, WWE has gone full mask off, and it is a hideous, hideous fucking sight. Fuck these people. Fucking, you're breaking quarterly records and this and that, and you're still fucking falling back on fucking budget cuts. When, by the way, people, Christmas is just around the corner for one, so way to be a bunch of Scrooges, you fucking pieces of
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
And we're not out of the pandemic.
Everyone that they released that was on a main roster contract and not an NXT contract is going to be jobless at Christmas.
Yeah, yeah. And again, we're still not out of this pandemic, all things considered. So you're still, after all this, being like,
Yep.
yeah, no, things are tough, but we got to think about our budget, which is code for
Which
we
is
really want to
15% higher now than it was 3 months ago. Fuck you.
Exactly, which is really code for, hey, we really want to maximize our profits for the shareholders.
Yes.
We answer to them before any of you.
Yeah.
Fuck you. God, I'm so tired of their bull. And you know what? I knew this was coming. At least, and by this, I mean me just being done and telling you, like, I want that break now. Because me doing that Ali rant, I knew there was some anger in me that I'm like...
That was a sign for sure, yeah, because you were fuming there. I remember.
Yeah.
That was just this past Friday, wasn't it?
That was just this past Friday, and I can't remember the last time on here.
How,
maybe to you privately.
How iconic that episode of SmackDown is the last one that we're reviewing.
Yeah, really. Because, like, for those of you that were there for that, I can't remember the last time on this show I allowed myself to get that angry over wrestling, which... Yep. Like, it's not just wrestling.
And the thing is, you say allow yourself because a lot of the time you might feel that angry, but you don't let it out. Yeah. And the fact that there are moments that you feel that angry that you don't let it out, that you bottle it up, that's not healthy either. And those are all straight from WWE. We don't feel that way about fucking Stardom, for fuck's sakes.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely fucking not. And, kudos to these people. Frankie is already out here 46 seconds ago. Once I've gathered myself from feelings, all levels of disappointment, sadness, anger, and also uncontrollable laughter, I'll have a statement. But for now, 30 days, hashtag Wera Loca. Yeah. So already she's out here hustling. Because that's what they fucking do. The hustle never stops. The grind never stops. And they'll be back on their feet again. But the fact that you even put human beings through this, that you put them through the work of, hey, pick yourself up together again, reassemble yourself mentally, get back on the horse again, when they didn't even get a chance to ride. Fuck you. So fucking done with this fucking company.
So to recap, because I think now's a good time to recap and close this video out.
Yes, for sure.
We are done covering SmackDown. We never covered Raw really in the first place, so that's not new. We're done covering SmackDown. We are also done covering post Big Four pay-per-view Raws and SmackDowns. And we are also done covering all WWE pay-per-views except for Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, Money in the Bank, and SummerSlam, which is basically the new Big Four. Survivor Series is fucking garbage. Like, I feel like every year we find a way to get ourselves excited for Survivor Series. Oh man, Big Four, they're going to do some good stuff this year. And every year, leading up to the actual show, when we start finding out what the card is, we just rant and get angry that the card isn't better and that there aren't more actual stakes in the 5-on-5 matches anymore. Because there used to be, but now the 5-on-5 matches are all just about fucking brand pride. And it's even worse now because the draft happens a month and a half beforehand. So these people have literally been on the brand that they're supposed to be trying to fight for their lives for, to represent, for like 6 weeks before they get there. And it's just stupid. So we're done covering Survivor Series, which is also very important for you all to know for literally later this month, because that's when Survivor Series happens. No Survivor Series coverage this year. We're done with it. No, whatever the fuck they're planning on doing in December. I think they have a new pay-per-view they're going to be doing on like the 4th of January, some shit like that. Fuck that. We will be covering Wrestle Kingdom instead. Fuck you, WWE. The next time that you hear from us regarding a main roster WWE show, it will be the Royal Rumble in late January. Period.
That's all that needs to be said. I want to thank everybody that came out here to listen to us. We actually got pretty high attendance for this.
Yeah.
Um,
Peaked at
I
24, I
am
believe.
I am going to my mental health. Thanks, Ashton, and thanks my own conviction to speak for myself for the free time that we just got, because I'm no longer going to be fucking flagellating myself with this fucking bullshit. And I hope you all do the same. Anybody that's thinking of stepping away from WWE, you have my unequivocal fucking support, and you have since the very beginning, honestly. And yeah, I think this is the right call, and so thank you everybody for joining us. And that's it. Just leave a like, subscribe, click the bell icon. Check out everything in the description box.
John,
I would also, yes.
Paul makes a good point. What are we going to do about Fave 5? Do we still want to have a WWE section? Do you still plan on keeping up with like YouTube videos so that you know what's going on and stuff, or are we just going to ditch it completely?
Oh God, to be perfectly honest, dude, I'm tempted to ditch it completely.
Okay.
But you know what? How about, because we have a Fave 5 coming up this month, don't we?
At the end of the month, yeah, it's like the last Thursday of the month. Basically, we have a Fave 5 on Thanksgiving Day, and then Q&A is 1 week later.
Okay. Okay. So, oh God, yeah, we're to talk about that Fave 5 because I'm also thinking about stuff I've got going on at home.
Oh, right.
So
We can move it back. We can move it. We can do it on like that Monday or Tuesday, actually, I think.
I'd be totally cool with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll do it. We'll do it. I'm gonna tell you right now. We'll do it on Monday, the 22nd. That'll be when we do the Fave 5.
Perfect. Because you know what? With that, man, I say we can keep WWE for that, but that might be the last Fave 5 I would want to do WWE.
Well,
with,
you've got to remember too, the next Fave 5 that we do after that is right after the Royal Rumble at the end of January. So we might want to do one there too. I think we can actually keep WWE in our Fave 5 for the most part. I think the one Fave 5 that we're going to want to skip out on WWE being in it is the one that's coming up in following years. Because like end of November, we will have not watched a WWE pay-per-view since August. And this is the one and only time that that's not the case because we've been keeping up with it so far, and we're already like 3/4 of the way there. So we do the November 5 Fave 5, and then we continue doing Fave 5s, but then next November, when we would normally do a Fave 5, we skip at that time.
Perfect. Yeah, I think that's definitely agreeable to me. So yeah, you guys heard it from Ashton.
And hell, maybe by next November, we'll have another promotion to add to our Fave 5 list to replace the WWE on that one.
Yeah, because again, guys, we're always talking about the channel like all the time and just thinking about what content we can do and stuff. So when one door closes, another one opens. So you'll want to keep an eye out for that. £5 super chat from Paul. Thanks for answering. I'm sure you were finished. And thanks for this vid. Here's some cash for your trouble. Paul, we love you, man. You're a beautiful fucking person. I was going to say to end it, which is normally different from how I normally end things. If you love the wrestlers that were released, support them right now.
Yes.
Send them an encouraging tweet, buy their merch on a third-party site, whatever. Support them however you wish to do. Even if it's just keeping up with them and, again, retweeting encouraging sentiments. I know everybody can support people differently. And beyond supporting the people you love that got released, just support the wrestling that you love.
Yes.
Normally I would, simp hard for Stardom and be like, subscribe to Stardom World, which, again, you all absolutely should do if you're looking for quality women's wrestling. But if there's any wrestling you love that you want to see, grow and expand and thrive and succeed, you owe it to yourself to support that, to go where the happiness is. And that's really how I want to end this. Beyond plugging our stuff most immediately, for the wrestlers that lost their jobs today that you loved and we're looking forward to see grow, and I know some of you were very connected to some of the wrestlers released today, be there for them now. Don't let the fandom die. And when it comes to promotions that aren't this fucking shithole, keep gladly giving your money, keep gladly giving your energy, so long as it makes you happy, fulfilled, and proud to be a part of, this fandom generally. Because I think it also falls back on us. And I'm so glad that after nearly 20 years of watching this, with a lot of ups, but many steep downs, we're putting our foot down and we're saying, it's over. You've got to earn us back if we ever come back to the table.
Yes.
And honestly, guys, it's not looking likely. It really, with the trajectory they're going.
I mean, hell, we even already talked about, like, we've already downgraded NXT from live reactions to reviews. If they trip up again as well, we might be, 1 foot out the door there as well. We might be not too far away from being done covering that show too.
Because I didn't want to be too knee-jerk, because I think Ashton even asked me, like, are you done altogether, or would you even be open to Big Four? And I said, you know what, let's not completely fly off because I know they always seem to put effort in like Rumble and Mania, so we'll stick around for those. But you're on thin ice, WWE. Like
Yeah.
we're standing on a very thin patch of ice here, and let's be
Yep.
crystal fucking clear about that. So that's all I wanted to say, guys. I'm gonna hand it over to Ashton to take us home. Just thank you for listening.
All right, we're done. We hope everyone is, more informed and is at least able to accept the new direction that we're going to be taking the channel. Um, I legitimately, okay, you know what? Fuck this guy. Jesus Christ. Okay, broke out the ban hammer there because someone was being extremely disrespectful towards released wrestlers. But yeah, we're um, we're at our breaking point now. We're done covering WWE TV, and the only pay-per-views we're going to be covering going forward are Rumble, Mania, Money in the Bank, and SummerSlam. That's it. Um, so we will see you all now. Since we're not going to be covering SmackDown, we will be seeing you all on Monday for our live reactions to Stardom's Kawasaki Super Wars show that just happened yesterday morning. And then we've got more Stardom. Pretty much, I think we literally have Stardom every day for the first 4 days of next week: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. If they get their upload schedule correct there, but it should be because of the way that the pay per views go. Plus, we have our NXT review then next Tuesday. So we hope to see you for that. And most importantly, we hope that you are all able to remember to stay tuned.